Let's talk about, again, we've sort of covered this a few times, so let's shuffle on to our next topic, but we've covered this a few times, ladies and gents, and what that is the strike. Now, we're not going to be talking about the strike specifically, but the ramifications of it. And one of those ramifications we talked about on the last stream was Disney looking to delay a bunch of products. We briefly sort of touched on it, and that was Warner Brothers looking to delay like Aquaman or something like that. But now the rumors are doing the rounds even further. They are saying they're looking to consider 3 release dates. June, June Part 2 for starters. That they've already started the marketing. That will cost them a significant amount of money, bumping this down massively, in fact. So it's reported that there's a good chance Warner Brothers Discovery will decide to delay many of its upcoming movies in response to the strike. So Dune Part 2, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Wonka, and The Color Purple are among things they're already considering pushing to next year. Wonka, they've just released their first trailer of. That would be awful if they decide to delay that. Mate, honestly, I see you doing this, Culture, but never underestimate the power of twinky little men in lead roles. Honestly, women love Timothée Chalamet. That'll be a big movie, I promise you. It will be. It'll be a huge movie. Women seem to love him. All right, it just is what it is. I don't control women.
I seem to recall a Dr. Dolittle film with one of the hottest guys out there, at the time. RDJ.
Yeah, he's not considered hot by women, though.
Women's don't think he's hot.
No,
I don't think women considered him that hot at the time. No.
Teen women and women in general love Timothée Chalamet, mate. Like,
on purpose?
Fucking hell. They really love him, honestly. Anyway, point is, they're looking to delay it. Apparently, the final decision is coming down to Legendary, because obviously Dune Part 2 is a Legendary production.
And they already pissed him off once.
Exactly. And Warner Brothers just distribute it. So they're like, should we ask? But apparently there are 3 spring options, and you just have to look at the release calendar: March, April, or a break in the summer connected to a possible Cannes Film Festival launch. That would actually be pretty beneficial, a Cannes Film Festival launch. I mean, beneficial or not, it's not gonna hurt it. But what do we think? I mean, we've seen that this strategy is something which they want to do. They do want to do it. It makes sense that Disney's doing it. They don't really have much, so they're sort of staggering it out. I think this will be the tactic of most film studios now, because they're in it for the long haul. So yeah, Culture, I know you want to say, come on.
I think they're going to delay almost everything. They have nothing else. We're going to be headed into month 6 of non-production as we get into the winter months. I mean, you're going to be sick. No. Well, no. When you look forward, I'm looking forward a bit. Right. Okay, I'm looking forward a bit. But you could be 5-6 months deep into this when we're in the winter months here in the States.
Because aren't we coming up to the 3rd month?
Yeah,
I think now, because it was 70 days before, but that was a little while ago, obviously.
Yeah. We're getting on with it, right? This was a beginning of summer thing. It's going through the end of summer. If it goes deep into winter, which a lot of people predict it will, and smart people, you can't go. I mean, they just did that with the pandemic. You cannot go another 6-month stint of timeout. It doesn't work. And this material that they're putting together now, that you're seeing, these films that they're looking to delay again, how long ago were they in the can? How long ago were they? How long ago?
Well, Dune Part 2 wasn't, actually, in fairness. Dune Part 2 was actually quite a quick turnaround. Sure, but you are right. The majority of them, Wonka's been done for ages, man.
And you're looking at that. Yeah, you're looking at those films, and you're like, well, the politics, the writing, and this is the other problem with putting political garbage in instead of being timeless, is that it makes your cake only good for so long. I mean, you're going to give people, a 2-month-old stale cake with bad icing on it that you've got roaches climbing around on. That's what these films are going to end up being if you keep setting them back. But I don't think they have a choice, because they will have nothing to release going forward. And they already did the stupid thing, and they all went and decided to compete against each other over the summer. They should have just like spaced it out. I mean, windowing has been bad, so it's all kinds of bad. And they saw this coming, and they elected to play it the worst possible way. But those are my thoughts. So I'll
one thing I'm looking forward to out of all of this, the eventual low budget horror movie resurgence.
It's coming. It's coming.
Many a slasher flick.
And we'll get films like what Gareth Edwards is doing with The Creator,
right.
Low budget, awesome looking.
I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, it looks great.
Wait. So good.
I mean,
thoughts, Nick? Would you reckon, mate?
In a funny way, I think this is almost what Hollywood needs,
yes.
because this is going to force them. Yeah, the purge, and it's going to force them to rethink their content, be very more specific on exactly what they want to do for the biggest return, and to try to bring those budgets down, which is what they need to do. I mean, everything's so overinflated, it's insane. But yeah, at the end of the day, I actually think this is a good thing for them.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Andre. My esteemed companion.
Yeah, well, the strike is. I'm very curious about how it's going to continue to develop, and for some of these releases, I don't see any good in continuing to delay them any further. Especially not Aquaman 3. Why the hell would you want to delay that?
Apparently, they've gone back for reshoot again.
Which is also ridiculous. I mean, if there ever was a movie where you just cut out cameos and then you release it with everything wrong with it, it's that one.
Just make it an hour long.
No one is looking forward to it. No one will be rewatching it. I mean, I'll give you one example. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. They never finished it. That was a movie that was released in an unfinished state. I do not know the exact details there, but the special effects, the color timing, it was never completed. What you're seeing, both on theaters, on VHS, in DVD, later on Blu-ray, is a work in progress that was never completed. And my guess is that someone decided, you know what? This shit right here is not going to make any money. It's not worth the effort to continue polishing this turd and get it into a state that we're all happy with, because even if we do, it's not going to make one iota more. It's going to make money in opening weekend, and then this thing is done. So let's not waste any more on it and just throw the shit out exactly as it is. That is the mentality they need to take with Aquaman 2 as well. Get it into the absolute minimum viable product state, then get it out and do not delay it anymore. And here's the reasoning why. What comes in 2 years on paper? The new Superman. The new Superman is here in 2025. Why the hell would you want this to come out in 2024 so that it's just a year between this and Superman? You want as long as time as span as possible before that.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. This will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Again, we talk about this, the strikes and things. Again, we've covered it, so I don't want to labour the point, but it is interesting that, Warner Brothers are now doing it. I think we'll see every single movie studio doing it. And I think specifically with Warner Brothers, they're up shit's creek when they do this anyway, because they have already begun the marketing material for a significant amount of these projects. So it's just going to inflate the budgets, and then they're going to lose even more money. But never mind. Let's shuffle on now.